In 2026, Democratic Senator Jon Ossoff of Georgia is going to be up for re-election. The Republicans are very eager to take this seat from them. Ossoff, of course, defeated David Perdue in 2020, as well as Warnock defeating Kelly Loeffler in 2020. So it was a good year for the Democrats, but then Trump won in 2024. So Mike Collins is a MAGA Republican, and he has entered the Georgia Senate race. Mike Collins, pretty active over on X. I've seen a few of his posts, but apparently he is not a very good speller. The Daily Beast reports Georgia Congressman Mike Collins launched a Senate bid this week, but the campaign kickoff included one cringeworthy misstep. His campaign misspelled Georgia in one of its videos. Buddy, how are you going to be the senator for the state of Georgia if you are incorrectly spelling your state? As a champion of my 5th grade spelling bee, I can't tell you how offended I am by this. Really? I cannot believe that you would misspell the name of Georgia. It's very simple. So a video posted on X by Mike Collins' War Room on Sunday included a graphic that read, Georgia, except it's spelled Georiga, let's ride, rather than Georgia, let's ride. So Georiga, something like that. Georiga, let's ride. Well, I'm sorry, Mike Collins. You're not going to become the senator of Georiga or whatever you want to call it. Wow. So the video was posted just before the MAGA lawmaker officially announced he would run to try and unseat Jon Ossoff in the competitive Georgia Senate race on Monday. The battleground state has what is expected to be one of the most competitive Senate races of the 2026 midterms after Trump won it in 2024, despite it being represented by 2 Democratic senators. The Georgia businessman whose family owns a trucking company was first elected to the House to represent the state's 10th district in 2022. Yeah, so 2022 was a red trickle, you could say. Democrats actually gained in the Senate. John Fetterman defeated Dr. Oz, which was a blue flip. But then the Republicans made some gains and took the House in 2022. So Mike Collins was elected in a good year for Republicans in the House of Representatives, not necessarily for the Senate, though. So yeah, he was boosted by, Republican resentment towards President Biden and, that sort of momentum that usually takes place 2 years into a president's term. No president has kept the House in their first term since George W. Bush, actually. So yeah, he might not be that good. He might be kind of good. It seems like if he can't spell Georgia right, he's probably not that good. Collins officially launched his campaign the following morning, but he has been retweeting X posts from the War Room account. This whole the War Room thing, there's like the Trump War Room. There was the Harris War Room or Harris HQ or whatever back during the 2024 election. Luckily for Collins, the video posted on Monday from his own account for the launch bid managed to spell Georgia correctly. Okay, learning from your mistakes there. Don't ever do it again, buddy. Quote, it's time to send a trucker to the U.S. Senate to steamroll the radical left, deliver on President Trump's America First agenda, and put the people of Georgia back in the driver's seat, Collins said in his launch video, which touted Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill and ending DEI. Okay, buddy, the Big Beautiful Bill is nothing to brag about, and neither is ending DEI. We all know that the ending DEI thing, that's just red meat for the base. The Big Beautiful Bill is going to come back to bite Republicans in the nuts in 2028. It is going to be bad. That's when most of the provisions kick in. So, yeah, the Big Beautiful Bill, you should not be bragging about that. And he was out there defending it, saying, it's not going to harm rural hospitals. It's going to have a negligible effect on them. And he's saying, it's not going to take away your Medicare. It's just going to kick people off who aren't supposed to be on it. Right. He's like, it's going to make Medicare easier to use for the people who actually need it. Okay, well, who in your view actually needs it? He's probably going to lie about, 17 million illegals were kicked off of Medicaid when there aren't even 17 million illegal immigrants in the country. Collins is the latest Republican to enter the GOP Senate primary in Georgia. Representative Buddy Collins also launched a Senate bid earlier this year as another Trump-aligned MAGA Republican looking to flip the Senate seat from blue to red next year. Wow, would you look at that? We have 2 MAGA Republicans whose last names both are Collins. That is going to make for a very confusing Republican primary. It would be one thing if one of them were at least, a Brian Kemp-style Republican who's like, yeah, no, I'm independent. I'm not Trump's little water boy, and I'm not just going to bow down to him, but I'm conservative, None of them are like that. It's like, no, we have to be MAGA. We have to kiss the ring. This type of MAGA Republican really sort of rose up weirdly enough, after Trump lost in 2020, where all these MAGA Republicans were like, oh yeah, we're mad about Biden. And then, Trump launches his campaign in November 2022. And then all these little, Trump acolytes just pop up, these little Trump sycophants who just want to act like him and be like him and praise stuff like the big, beautiful bill. So hopefully he gets defeated handily. Hopefully it sends a message. Brian Kemp did really well in his governor election in Georgia, actually. I don't think that these guys are going to be able to replicate that. Brian Kemp just has this ability to remain super popular. And part of the way that he did that was distancing himself from Trump. Trump won Georgia, of course. But you know what? Being independent from Trump is also a good move. Are Georgia Republicans the most MAGA Republicans on the planet, in the country? No, not necessarily. I think some states, some red states, are a bit more into MAGA than Georgia is. Georgia elected 2 Democratic senators in 2020. They did it before, they can do it again. Not to mention, Raphael Warnock also defeated Herschel Walker in 2022. Herschel Walker, of course, was considered a very, very bad candidate. And I'm sure that both the Collinses are not quite as disastrous, not quite as embarrassing as him. But yeah, I think that it's going to stay a blue state in 2026 for the Senate. Maybe the Democrats can flip it in 2028. We'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you live in Georgia, tell me what you think of Georgia politics and this race. I am always interested to hear from people who live in the states that I talk about. How offended are you that Mike Collins spelt Georgia like Gioriga or whatever? Are you very offended? Were you a spelling bee champ? Do you take great offense to that? Let me know. Like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. This is the more the merrier, and I look forward to speaking to you in my next video.